These days, people are raising a question, okay, about, okay, we know that Allah is the creator, right? But who created Allah? So, sometimes we know in our heart that this question is wrong, but we don't know how to answer it. Do you remember when I was dividing the Tawheed into 3 categories? Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, Tawheed al-Asma'i was-Sifat. The Tawheed of Lordship, ownership, mastership, and the Tawheed of Godship, which means to worship Allah alone, solely, sincerely. Okay. Then Tawheed al-Sifat, the Tawheed of Allah's names and attributes. Now, that shows the importance of the last category, Tawheed al-Asma'i was-Sifat. Why? Because among the attributes of Allah, among the Sifat of Allah, that He is the He's the Creator. But we don't find among the attributes of Allah that He is the Created. Yes, my attribute and your attribute is we are created. Is this your attribute or not? Yes. So I may ask you, are you a created being? You say, yes, no doubt. When were you created? You tell me, for example, 2010, for example. Okay? So that means this is one of your attributes, that you've been created. So where we find among the attributes of Allah that He is the created?
It's always there. It was never created.
Just bear with me. When we say that Allah's attribute is the creator, we do not include in this understanding that He is also created. Finish. So He is either of the two. You cannot combine two together. You cannot say He is the creator, but He is the created. Otherwise, this is full contradiction that will cause the mind to blow up. Will cause the mind to blow up. It can't be that He is the creator, period. When we say He's the creator, that means He's the only creator. If there is another one who created Him, how do we say that He's the only creator? Good point. Another point. The other point is that, as we said, and that shows the importance of Tawheed al-Asma'i was-Sifat, the Tawheed of the attributes, that one of the names of Allah is the Creator. Wait, when we say Tawheed al-Sifat, that means He is the only one that deserves this attribute. To be what? The Creator. He is the only one that deserves to be what?
The Creator.
Is there anyone who deserves in the whole universe that deserves to be called the Creator?
No.
Now look at the mistake of the Christians. The Christians say that Jesus is God and He's created. And you have to ask, what did He create? During His whole life on earth, He never created even a fly. So how can we say He's God? And we believe that he is the created, but none of the Christians dare to say that yes, Jesus created something. Nothing. Did you get the point? The last thing is, if the creator needs a creator, okay, so we'll be asking the same thing about the one who created Allah. Who created him also? Then the one before him, who created him? Then the one before him, who created him? Then the one before him. Oh my God. Boop. The mind will blow up again. Unless the solution is, once you say that Allah is the only creator, you cannot say who created him, because he's the only one to create, the only creator. And that ends the doubt about who created Allah. A very important notice follows this, is that it is against the nature that Allah set in our body, okay, to ask such questions. We know in our heart that this question is wrong. And we should not be being impudently addressing such question. It's an impolite question. Who created the creator? Yes, someone can ask a question. Someone can say, he says, I'm only asking. Yeah, but also when you ask a question, you have to behave and use your mind and be wise, because sometimes some questions are what? Bad questions. Imagine if you see a king and you ask the king, for example, did you wash yourself correctly in the bathroom when you were in the bathroom today? Can you ask a king this question? Do you think the moment you see the king, for example, you ask him, did you take your bath today or you're smelling bad? If somebody says, oh, that's not a good question, you say, well, I'm only asking, But you should know that there's something wrong with your question. So you should not be asking such a question. Who created Allah? Because this is a serial question that if you keep going to the back, there's no end for it. Did you get my point? So once, for example, someone asks you who created Allah, then if you may give him an answer, okay, what about that? The other one who created. The other point is, do we know someone who is creator other than Allah? This is a good question. We should be asking such person, before you ask this, do you know anyone who is creator other than Allah? Bring him. Tell us. We claim that there's only one creator. Show us if there is another creator with Allah. As Allah said in the Quran, then that's very beautiful ayah. هذا خلق الله. This is the creation of Allah. فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. Then show me, what did they create, those whom you are taking them as gods with Allah? What did they create? That's very beautiful ayah in the Quran. قل أرأيتم شركاءكم الذين تدعون من دون الله أروني ماذا خلقوا من الأرض أم لهم شرك في السماوات أم آتيناهم كتابا فهم على بينة منه. I love that ayah. Oh, beautiful ayah. Wallahi, beautiful ayah. Look. This is in Surah Al-Ankabut. Surah the spider. Look what Allah said. Do you see those partners whom you invoke beside Allah? Show me what they have created from the earth, or their partnership with Him in the heavens. What did they create? Where is their creation? Those whom you worship beside Allah. What did they create on earth? Or what did they create in heaven? Or have we given them a book so they are standing on evidence therefrom? No. But the wrongdoers do not promise each other except delusion. So Allah is asking in this beautiful ayah, do you see those whom you have taken apart as supplication, the center of your supplication? Show me, what did they create on earth? Or do they have partnership in the heaven? Or did we give them a book so they are standing on evidence therefrom? What a beautiful ayah. Wallahi. Very beautiful ayah. In which surah is that? The spider, Al-Ankabut. And by the way, in this surah there is a challenge. How? Allah said in the Quran that the she-male spider is the one which built the house, not the male. اتخذت. And that's miraculous, because today scientists discovered that the one who is in charge of building the spider house are the female, not the male. The male do not build this house for them. It's only the female. And Allah said that the she spider, اتخذت, she had taken for itself a house. The she spider, not the he spider. So this ayah is in Surah Al-Ankabut, ayah number 40. The other ayah that I mentioned to you, فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا. Yeah. Surah Luqman. What is the name of the surah? Write it down. Write it down, please. Surah Luqman, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هَذَا خَلْقُ اللَّهِ. This is the creation of Allah. فَأَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ. Then show me, what did they create? Those whom you are taken apart from Allah as gods for yourselves, allies for yourselves. Show me, what did they create? So that means the one who says who is the creator of Allah, we should rather change the question to him. Did you know any creator other than Allah? Tell us, please. Give us. It is we who should be turning the question back onto his face and saying to him, if you know someone other than Allah that creates, please tell us. So that means the only creator is Allah. Then we come to the other point. If we have proven that there is no creator but Allah, we should then what? We should worship that one God. Because there are people who are arguing with the atheists. You know the atheists who do not believe in God, okay? But they're liars, as I told you before. They are liars. Because once they have trouble, they turn to no one when their trouble is serious. They say, oh God, help! Now he acknowledges his weakness. Wait. Okay? He acknowledges his weakness. Before he says, where is God? No God. But if he's in trouble, oh God. Before, no. But after that, oh. Did you realize the difference? between no and oh. If he's in trouble, oh. If he's not in trouble, no. This ayah, surah is Surah Luqman, ayah number 11. Remember those two ayah in those two surahs. They're very important. Yes.
Some atheists say that science have found out that two kind of species, their atoms like crush together, and that's how.
Who crushed them?
Well,
So when they say that they found out that there are two species, etc., all right. Or they say to you, the first creation, the source of all creations is from the fish. And the fish was created from the cell. So the first created being is the cell. Okay? So we said to them, all right, then that means you should believe that there's a creator of the cell. Or they say there's a system. We acknowledge that there's a system in the world. We say, who is the systemizer of that system? Who is the systemizer of the system? Okay? So they are out to believe. What they're doing is that they say, if we don't see physically God, then we don't believe in him. Physically. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Okay? Did you see a car outside?
yes.
Did you see the one who was working on making the car?
No.
Why? Use your mind.
They're doing it.
He said, the mind says there must be a factory, there must be manufacturers, there must be. Why don't you say the same thing when you see the whole world? Sun, which its width and size is 14 million kilometers. Here, this earth is 14,000 kilometers. The sun is 14 million kilometers. The moon is 3,000 and some kilometers only. Yani very small compared to the earth. And the earth is nothing compared to the sun. And the sun is nothing, is like that, compared to the giant planets and galaxies. Did you get the point? Yes. So therefore, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, show me, where are those others who created beside him? As if he's saying, there is no one. Yeah, so the point is, some people, they keep arguing with the atheists, bringing very good evidences about Allah's existence, necessarily. But they're not rewarded for that. They're wasting their time on proving what is necessarily built in the soul of every person. They know it. Don't think that when they ask you, where is God? Prove to me that there is God. Never think that they really are asking questions that they don't know. No. Naturally, they know it. And it reveals itself suddenly when they are in trouble. Crash, accident, airplane shaking, it's about to fall. The danger. Many people, when the airplane start to shake, they say, finish, that's the end of it. And many of them, they say, oh God. Now they say, oh God. Before they used to say, no God. And now when they are in trouble, they say,
Oh God.
oh God. Yes. Aisha.
My teacher said that like a billion words they can fit inside the sun. That's how big Descendants.
So who is doing that?
Allah.
Yeah, ask him. See, you don't realize the type of their delusion. They say to you, since millions of years, one creature was, was the source of all what we see today. All right, so who created before billions of years? And where is that big knowledge that you have? You can specify the period of the time, like 5 million years or 6 million years. These things are only assumptions. They're not sure. But we are sure about it. When we deal with the matter of Allah, we don't only use our sight. We use our brain, our mind, not brain. Where's your mind?
Here.
No.
Here.
No. No. The mind is in the heart. And now there is a recent German study, very thorough kind of study. They discovered that the controller, the source of the using of the mind is in the heart. It's not here. The source is here. This one is the tool, is the mechanism of the heart.